Yo, what is going on? Welcome into the show. This is Philadelphia Eagles Now. My name is Chase Sr., and as always, no matter where you are or how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making today's show a part of your day, and I hope all of you are having fun this weekend. Coming up here on the show, I have 15 bold Philadelphia Eagles predictions going into the 2025 season, but I want you to start us off. What is your big, bold Eagles prediction for this year? Share it with me right now down in the comments section. Bold prediction number 1. The Philadelphia Eagles become the first team since 2004 to repeat as NFC East champions. I respect the Washington Commanders, and last year what they did was very impressive. I think that Jaden Daniels has already solidified himself as one of the top quarterbacks in the game, but I think the Eagles are still better, as evidenced by them putting 55 points up against Washington in the NFC Championship game. This is a team that has 30 players who are 29 years old or older on their roster. They're an old team. They were awful defensively last year, and I don't think they made a lot of changes or upgrades on the defensive side of the ball. They also could not stop the run. What do the Eagles do very well? With the best offensive line and best running back in the NFL and a great running quarterback in Jalen Hurts. They run the football successfully. And so I don't think the Commanders' time is yet. I think the Eagles are better. And that's really the biggest competition for Philadelphia to win this division. Brian Schottenheimer is the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I have to see it first. There's a weird vibe around Dallas going into 2025. You replace Mike McCarthy with Brian Schottenheimer, who never got any serious consideration to be a head coach or even an offensive play caller in a very long time. I like the acquisition of George Pickens to team him up with CD Lamb, but Dak Prescott's coming off a torn hamstring. He had a bad year last year, throwing 8 picks in 8 full games. The defense, very spotty. Overshown, Trayvon Diggs, they're hurt. Those are 2 marquee defensive players. Matt Eberflus is their defensive coordinator. Dallas doesn't scare me. The Giants, their defensive front is awesome. Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau. But the rest of the team is very mediocre. And does Russell Wilson scare me? No. As long as the Eagles can stay healthy, they're winning the NFC East and they'll be a bona fide Super Bowl contender. Bold prediction number 2. Saquon Barkley becomes the first player ever to rush for more than 2,000 yards in 2 consecutive seasons. Nobody has ever done it. Saquon accomplished this with 1 game to spare last year. He didn't have to play in that regular season finale against the Giants backups when Tanner McKee shredded them, or against the Giants starters with the Eagles backups. I think Saquon, if he can stay healthy and upright behind this offensive line, he can have another successful season. He looked incredible last year from an athletic and physical standpoint. He has said during the spring that he feels awesome. He has altered his offseason training regimen to keep himself fresher for this upcoming season. You have Jalen Hurts in the backfield with him. That makes him more of a dangerous player running the ball. You have the best offensive line blocking for you. You have incredible weapons around you. A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, Dallas Goedert. And the run scheme has been run-friendly since Nick Sirianni came here. Miles Sanders had a career year in 2022. DeAndre Swift had a career year in 2023. Saquon Barkley had one of the best years ever in 2024. So if he can stay healthy, and if the Madden curse doesn't bite him, Saquon has another stellar season. Bold prediction number 3. A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith both go over 1,000 yards receiving. It is very hard for 2 wide receivers to both go over 1,000 yards, especially when the Eagles run it so often. But Saquon's a home run threat. Teams will sell out to try to stop the run. I think the Eagles could have a more balanced offense this year. Jalen Hurts could throw it more. I think that Hurts is going to be more confident coming off that Super Bowl MVP performance, him also carving up Washington in the NFC Championship game. And I think the pass game could open up a little bit. And once that happens, teams won't be able to crowd the box as much because the Eagles will be so multidimensional, and that can help Saquon Barkley reach that achievement. Bold prediction number 4. Dallas Goedert, in a contract year, very motivated, ties or surpasses his career high in touchdown catches. His career high, 5 in 2019. I think he reaches that or surpasses that in 2025. He just needs to stay healthy. And if he does, he can easily reach that number. And I think that the Eagles should utilize him more in the red zone. It's tricky because he's the 4th offensive option behind AJ, Smitty, and Saquon. But there's a reason why year in and year out, NFL coaches, execs, and scouts rate him as a top 10 tight end in football. They did once again this year going into 2025. It's because he's such a complete player who does everything so well. And I think over time, he's become a little bit underrated. Bold prediction number 5. Jordan Mailata is an all-pro left tackle. Last year, he got snubbed. Tristan Wirfs was the first-team All-Pro at left tackle. Jordan Mailata was better. His overall PFF grade, 95.8, first among 140 offensive tackles. His pass blocking grade, 91.7, second among 140 offensive tackles. His run blocking grade, 94.9, first among 140 tackles. He gave up some pressures, but those are dominant numbers. And this year, he finally gets the recognition that he deserves. Aussie, 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 oi, 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 g'day, mate. Bold prediction number 6. I think Tyler Steen has a really good year at right guard. The Eagles let go of Mekhi Becton because they are very high on Tyler Steen. They used a 3rd-round pick on him. They believe in the development led by offensive line coach Jeff Stoutland. Tyler Steen is a player who's 6'6", 320, who earned a damn near perfect relative athletic score in the pre-draft process. He only played tackle in college. Now that he's getting more acclimated with that guard spot and the pressure is on for him to perform, especially with him entering year 3 of his rookie contract, he has a really good year at that right guard spot. Bold prediction number 7. Jalen Hurts finishes top 5 in MVP voting as Kevin Patullo unleashes him a little bit in the pass game. I have this feeling that Patullo is going to bring some fresh, new, creative concepts, ideas, and play calls and play designs to this Eagles offense. I think he's eager to prove himself a little bit and not let the Brian Johnson down year in 2023 be a thing that lingers with Patullo in 2025. When I talked to him at the Super Bowl, I was impressed with this offensive mind because I really poked and prodded about his offensive philosophy. And with how well Hurts played in the NFC title game and in the Super Bowl, I think the Eagles rely on him a little bit more to throw it, which I think makes their offense so much more difficult to defend if they're not just so run-centric. Bold prediction number 8, Jalen Carter is a first-team All-Pro. Last year, he was a second-team All-Pro. He's going to have to compete with Dexter Lawrence, Chris Jones, Jeffrey Simmons, and some other really good defensive tackles. But Jalen Carter is a classic, gotta see him in person type of guy. He might not put up astounding, crazy, ridiculous production, but he takes over games by himself and demands so much attention. He is such a smart football player. Last year, really, a lot of people started to recognize how good and unique he is as one of the most dominant defensive players in the game. Now that that buzz has some traction, all eyes will be on number 98, and that'll help him with that honor. Bold prediction number 9, Nolan Smith continues his ascent. His emergence continues. 1 sack to 6.5 sacks, year 1 to year 2. From year 2 to year 3, he goes from 6.5 to double-digit sacks. He's going to be on the field a lot more without Brandon Graham and Josh Sweat. He's looked at as one of the leaders of that Eagles defense. I really like the game, the bend, the twitch, the speed, the explosiveness, the relentless hustle. And I think that leads to Nolan Smith in a big year because after this year, he'll be contract extension eligible, has double-digit sacks. Bold prediction number 10. Jordan Davis finally has that breakout year. Midway through last year and in the playoffs, he really started to turn it on. The Eagles exercised his fifth-year option, so he's under contract this year and next, but this is a big year for him because he can get an extension after 2025 too. He's in great shape. He was one of the highest graded defensive linemen in football last year in the NFL playoffs. He's become obsessed with the Peloton. He has slimmed down. I think without Milton Williams, he becomes more of a three-down player, even though Moro Ajomo is obviously going to line up alongside Jalen Carter. But I think this is the year that Jordan Davis finally puts it together. Sometimes it just takes defensive tackles a while. And at 6'6", 340, pudgy body coming out of Georgia, it took him some time to finally get into great shape. He's in great shape now. Jahad Campbell, if healthy, bold prediction number 11, will be in the running for Defensive Rookie of the Year. This screamed Vic Fangio selection to me. And when you have Jahad Campbell alongside Zach Bond, they both complement each other very well. They both have similar skill sets. Jahad Campbell is an elite athlete, and if healthy, the best off-ball linebacker in this 2025 draft class. Runs a 4.5. He's very physical, plays like his hair is on fire, bat out of hell, shot out of a cannon. He can be used as a pass rusher. He can be used as an off-ball guy, has great range. The foundation of skills are totally there. And if he could stay healthy with Nakobe Dean coming off of a patellar tendon injury, I think Campbell plays very well. Bold prediction number 12. Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean both are Pro Bowlers in that Eagle secondary. I think they just get better and work off of what they did in year one. Quinyon Mobe was shutting down some of the top receivers in the game. Cooper DeJean, one of the highest graded corners in all of football. And now people understand, damn, those two players, the first two picks of the 2024 NFL draft, are great. And they become Pro Bowlers. DeJean doesn't have as much competition in the slot as Mitchell does on the outside. But I don't think you're going to see their development flatline. Bold prediction 13. Jake Elliott has a bounce-back year with Charlie Hewlett as the new long snapper. Rick Lovato was with this team forever, but the Eagles decided to move off of him and bring in Charlie Hewlett, who formerly was a long snapper for the Cleveland Browns. I think part of the reason the Eagles moved off of Rick Lovato, Jake Elliott struggles, and Lovato had some shaky snaps from time to time. I think with a new long snapper and perhaps a better long snapper, that'll lead to Jake Elliott kicking better. Bold prediction 14. Moro Ajomo has a better year this year than Milton Williams did in 2024. And you know what? I would not be surprised if Moro Ajomo has a better year this year than Milton Williams does with the New England Patriots. I'm just a believer in the player. And then bold prediction 15. A lot of you are really going to like this one. The Philadelphia Eagles run it back and they repeat as Super Bowl champions. They are battle-tested. They have played in a bunch of big games. Nothing really phases them. They have a great culture. They are very hungry. Coming off the heels of last year's dominant Super Bowl performance, they are still the most talented and maybe even still the deepest team in the NFL. Owner, GM, head coach, coaching staff, roster, it's all sound. I know the schedule is tough, but that's what happens when you win a title. The Eagles are really hungry to try to go back-to-back and pull off something special. They're also still a very young team, whereas the team that won it in 2017 going into 2018, they were an older team. This could be the start of a dynastic run. I hope it is, and I think the Birds win the Super Bowl again. This has been Philadelphia Eagles Now. Thanks for rocking with us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you soon here on the show. Peace.